Hello, my name is Charles Hessifer, and today I'll be talking about ThreatAnalyzer client software install. Before we get started, there are a couple of things that we want to take under consideration. First, we'll need access to the ThreatAnalyzer server for our client download. We'll need a supported Windows operating system for the client install. The ThreatAnalyzer client must have access to TCP port 80 on the ThreatAnalyzer server. The ThreatAnalyzer client should be set to auto login, and the ThreatAnalyzer client software, starter.exe, should be set to run on startup/login. Lastly, you'll need the ability to create a snapshot of your client system once it is ready for the purpose of reverting back to a known good state. Today we'll use a snapshot identified as base. If you need any further information, please consult the ThreatAnalyzer user and/or install guide. So the first thing we want to do is open up our browser and log into our ThreatAnalyzer server. And once you've logged in, you'll want to scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you should see a link for Download Client. We want to go ahead and click on that link and download the client. At this point, we'll want to go ahead and log into our target environment, browse to the location of the file we downloaded, and then we'll double click on the ThreatAnalyzer client executable. Click Run. We'll select Next here, accept the agreement, we can leave the default location of C sandbox. We'll leave the default selection of full installation with all of the options. Specify the IP address of our ThreatAnalyzer server and any identification for the client and notes. We can skip the deep freeze install since we're doing a virtual client. Click on Install and let the process finish. Here you'll get a sandbox pop up. You can go ahead and close that for now. Here we're prompted to install Pcap, so you can go ahead and set that to install as well as to start up on boot, and we'll do that now. Click Next. I agree, and then automatically start it up on boot, and finally click Finish. Now we'll need to restart our computer. Once the system is back up and running, we should see our starter.exe and that the client is currently disabled. So what we want to do is log into our ThreatAnalyzer server and enable the client. Alright, to do that, let's go ahead and log back in to ThreatAnalyzer server. Once we log in, you'll notice we have one registered client. Let's navigate over to the settings And inside the settings under Browse Clients, you'll notice that we have our client with the name of our client as well as any information that we put in there as well when we were installing the client. We'll see the status is waiting. We'll see that this particular client is disabled. And if we look at Revert Snapshots, we can see all of the snapshots that we have available to us provided by the ESX server. We'll go ahead and select base since that's the snapshot we want to revert back to. We'll click on enabled and hit apply changes. And now you'll see that the checkbox under the enabled column is selected. So let's go ahead and go back over into our target environment. In this case, we'll open up a console. And now you should be able to see in our starter.exe window that no samples have been submitted. This confirms communication from the sandbox client to the ThreatAnalyzer server. All right, so we can go ahead and confirm our snapshots. So if we look at our snapshot manager, we can see that indeed all of the listed snapshots did appear inside of ThreatAnalyzer server, and we've chosen base as our revert snapshot. This concludes the video for ThreatAnalyzer client software install.